Jane and Ann are going to take it away with salsas, sauces, and spreads.
Hooray. Okay, we are
This is Jane's powerful area.
we're here together.
I know, but I mean, you are such a good person in this sauces.
Says my mother. Okay, so we're gonna whip through all these sauces and salsas and spreads. Oh my! And to start it off, we're gonna talk about quickly dressing. My favorite dressing is 3-2-1. It's 3 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of mustard, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. But the key to this is the vinegar is not just actually just like a quick store-bought balsamic vinegar. We actually invest in, at risk of using a bad word, it's finer vinegars, schmancy vinegars. I don't know the right word to use. They are more expensive, but they keep you from having to add more syrup, more mustard, oil, things to make your dressing taste like you want to eat it. So quickly, the dressing that I want to do today, besides the 3-2-1, which I just did mentally, is called Sweet Fire. And this is not up top here, Josh. This is not a vinegar-based one. This is a oat milk-based one. So we start with oat milk, and we add mustard, and there's a little peanut butter on my mustard. Okay, add mustard. You can use whatever mustard you want. Dijon, spicy, whatever.
What kind are you using?
I am using a Dijon here today, which is, I don't always use that.
It's going to be strong.
Strong with Dijon. I know, I like that. You have probably got 1 million mustards in the door of your fridge, so go ahead and use some of those archives. And then maple syrup, because it's sweet fire. So the sweet of the maple syrup is a great accent to...
And wait till you see the next ingredient.
Smoked paprika. And this is actually, smoked paprika is on half, and I've got some cayenne. See, on this side's cayenne, and over here is smoked paprika. Because I didn't want to waste a lot of extra plastic. Okay, so these go together, and the smoked paprika makes it taste like fire. And if you don't have smoked paprika, get it, because we use this a lot and we love it. It has a different name. It has smoked in front of it, not just paprika. All right, and then stir this up and you're good to go. Mommy, how about you? What's your favorite dressing?
All right, I like to use a jar because you'll see. And I'm going to start with some hummus. And I am just going to take some hummus.
Can you tell me about that hummus?
Stick it in my jar.
Oh.
And this that's okay. If it gets a little on the outside, well, no problem. And this happens to be Cedar's fat and oil-free hummus. How do I show it? Do I show it there? And I like it because not only is there no oil in this, but there is no tahini. For anybody that has got heart disease or doesn't want to have tahini, which is just lots more fat. And it's good. It's really good. So I'm going to put some hummus in there. And next, I like to put in chopped, what is this?
What is it? Garlic or ginger?
No, chopped ginger.
Sorry, everything's been pre-chopped for us to be fast, so it looks like it could be garlic.
No, and this is chopped up little ginger. And
garlic would be good in there.
I like to put ginger in everything that I can possibly put it in. And then I am going to put in a little mustard, and not a whole lot, but a little bit. And sometimes this mustard, makes that little farty noise. And then I am going to put in some orange juice or orange, and I happen to have an orange here, or you could use orange juice. What I like to do is take a knife and cut out the sections of the orange like this, and then squeeze the juice. Fortunately, I have some oranges already done there, but this is so cool. This is my trusty citrus reamer, and I can just ream out the juice in here for this trusty little reamer and get all I want, and if I need more, I can go to the other half.
She's attached at the hip to that thing.
I love it, and I even love it so much that I'm willing to pick out all the seeds of the lemons that happen because of it.
Okay.
So anyway, wait, Jane, I'm not done.
Okay.
And then I am going to put in some balsamic vinegar. And now this happens to be their 4-leaf. This is by the olive tap, which is one of our favorites.
Olive scene. There's lots of fancy vinegar stores around.
And then, make sure the lid's on tight. And it's so good for your muscles.
And your core. We were at a conference carpeted on the stage, and she put the lid on and went shake, shake, shake. The lid went flying off, dressing all over the floor. Balsamic vinegar and all.
What's so nice about doing it in this is that if you don't use it all, or if you want to make extra, you can store it.
Okay, next thing we want to move to is this is a peanut sauce, and this we're going to use the a high-speed blender or Cuisinart, or not Cuisinart, but a food processor, excuse me. And we've got the peanut butter in here already, and then we're going to add in a clove of garlic. I'm going to follow the directions here because everything's pre-cut for me. Oh, the garlic was already cut for me. I don't want to double it up. The ginger, get that in there. And could you get me about a half a cup of water? That'd be great. And then there's miso. Now miso is soybean paste, and it's been fermented, and it's really wonderful. And if people roll their eyes at it, I just say, well, cheese has been fermented for like years, and it came out of a cow's udder. This is the soybean that's been fermented somewhere beautiful. Actually, Brian and I watched a documentary about how tamari and tempeh and all this stuff is made, and it's intriguing. Okay, back to this. Then we put some tamari, speak of the devil, and 3 tablespoons of lime juice. This is really what makes this so bright and clarified. 1, 2, 3. I was about to add all that. That would have been some limey peanut sauce. And then the key to it is having it be a little bit sweet, so we've got some maple syrup in that one. And going to give it a big whirl with this processor, which I hope is plugged in. Am I plugged in? Oh, there we go. So this is delicious, and it's got peanut butter in it, so if you're having issues
It's shockingly good.
And there's another way that we can make it so it's not
Oh, yes.
have peanut butter, but has what?
You can get PB2. Don't get that because that's got salt and sugar added. You can get PB2 pure. Make sure the pure is there, and it is just the powdered peanut butter with lots of the fat taken off. It's still got a bit of fat, but it is so much. If you're making a peanut sauce, I would recommend that if you are watching your fat content.
Yeah, and for Plant Strong, having some peanut butter in here. Oh, did you get some? You got the water? Thank you. Like I know our kids love this, and when everybody was home during the quarantine, having peanut sauces. I mean, I would make small kegs of this stuff and just have it around, and other kinds of sauces because everyone was eating. As you'll see a little bit later, we're going to make all sorts of bowls and things, and peanut sauce was one of the key things. All right, so I'm going to pour this into this little beautiful red bowl while my mom talks about this amazing OMG walnut sauce.
So it's this. We have it right here, made, and
Here you go, Josh.
And what it is, it's got 3 ingredients, and it's crazy amazing.
Would you want to tip a hat to Casa de Luz?
What?
Tip the hat to Casa de Luz?
Sure. We first learned about this when we were visiting Rip in Austin and went to Casa de Luz, which is a wonderful restaurant there. They had this walnut sauce. And we begged them, what's in it? And it's walnuts, garlic, and tamari. Those 3 things.
And water.
And then water. And you have to just figure out what you like on that balance. But here it is, a big bowl of it. And it is, anything you put it on, it is just blows your mind. And what's so crazy is you put the walnuts in the water in the blender, and it turns white.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing that, so it's like a chameleon turning color.
Okay. You ready for the teriyaki? We're gonna make a quick teriyaki sauce.
This is stunningly
good. So this is clearly some tofu cubes, Josh. Tofu cubes. And they've just been cubed up. You can do whatever size you want. The smaller, the better, because then you get more surface area covered with this stuff. And I have a parchment lined pan here we're going to tip it onto. So, Mommy, could you please stir it up? Little darling.
What do I stir?
Just stir that. I'm going to add the things to it. So teriyaki sauce has got, this is tamari, and it's got, teriyaki means, I think it means like salty luster. So it's got some sweet in it, because that's what makes it have it be browned. And so we've got tamari.
I like this kind of a job a lot.
We've got
Stirring.
tamari. I need kind of a trovolo. Tamari, maple syrup, and we've got.
It sounds like that's good stuff on it.
Sorry.
No.
Is it yours or my hairs on here? And we've got ketchup or tomato paste, whatever you have at home. We have tomato paste here. Here's the little tube. This is the most clever way to use tomato paste because you use a little bit and you put it right back in the fridge with a lid on it, like toothpaste.
My problem is when I use the little ones that are like 7 ounces and it calls for 3, I just use the 7 because
So like here, look at this. I'm gonna add a little bit more just for show and tell. So you just add a little of this, like that, and you put the lid back on. You don't waste the whole open little can like she just said. So we've got ginger and tomato paste or ketchup, syrup, tamari, and some toasted sesame seeds. These I almost toasted too much. You can see there's some dark ones in there.
We usually get extra sesame seeds because we always burn one of them.
At least the first 1 or 2 times. And can you, is that tomato giving you a paste?
Yes, we're going to have lumpy.
Let's try not to have lumpy. All right, stir that up, little darling. All right, so that's the teriyaki. That is the teriyaki sauce. It is so quick and so delicious. The toasted sesame seeds, tamari.
May I put it on top?
Syrup, ketchup, ginger, and tofu. So yeah, let's get that in. I don't want to have the red chunks in there if possible. Put it on top of the tofu, and then if you have time, let it sit and soak in.
All of it?
Yeah, go for it.
Woo!
Yeah, and let it sit and soak in, and then once it's all.
I'm hiding the red chunks because it was my fault. I'm just hiding them so nobody will see
You were
them.
loving your job, though.
Yeah, but it was hard.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is move on to salsas, and we love this corn salsa that I want to actually do a tip of the hat to Chipotle because my kids would go to Chipotle with their friends and they'd say, Mommy, just so you know, I mean, this is when they were, whatever, I don't even how, grade school. Just so you know, I like corn salsa now. And they wouldn't always eat what Brian and I were eating. So thank you, Chipotle, for bringing corn salsa to my plant-based kiddos.
So here is the corn salsa. I am going to start with some corn and just frozen corn thawed. Oh, and when you buy frozen corn, make sure that it says sweet. I have sometimes bought corn that just says corn, and it could be like eating cardboard. So sweet corn makes a difference. This is some red onion, not chopped up nice and fine. This is pre-chopped by somebody else. If I had done it, it would have been so much not so good.
Can I make one comment while you're doing that? Now that my teriyaki tofu cubes are on the pan and they're all getting pressed around, I'm going to turn on the oven and put it in. I'm going to put it in the oven at about 350, 375, actually 375 to 400 for as long as I don't forget about it.
I tell you, these are so amazingly good. And the other day I said to Jane, what if I just make these cubes bigger? And she just said, you can't. But I don't know.
If you did, then you only have a little bit of you.
Now, next, I'm putting in some chopped up red pepper. Isn't this so beautiful? And then I am going to put in, this is jalapeno, about maybe half a jalapeno. I mean, even more beautiful now. And then I am going to add lime juice. And that's it. And it's so good. And you can, I mean, it's so pretty. It's just so pretty.
That is pretty. Uh-oh. I didn't put ginger in the teriyaki, did I?
No. Doesn't matter. It'll be good. I could put ginger in here.
I'm gonna throw it on top.
You can. So there is the corn salsa.
So sorry. That was somehow sitting there. Ha! Oh well. That's how a new recipe could be born. So don't forget your teriyaki. This is pico de gallo. And pico de gallo is just sort of a classic, fresh tomato-based salsa. It's not juicy. It's not fluidy. It's just fine diced tomatoes, some fine diced white onion. And then really, there's different ways to make it from there, but this is pretty much the basics. Add in some jalapeno, not a lot, but just enough to have a little bit of green. Looks quite festive right now, doesn't it, Lassie? And then some lemon juice, as much as you sort of want per taste, some lime juice, and a little bit of garlic, a little ajo. And actually, can you chop that up a little more fine? That's a big chunk of garlic. Just fine dice that up. And I'm going to actually stir this up, a little more lemon, a little more lime. And so pico de gallo, it means the beak of the rooster. I think, I could be dead wrong. But that's pretty much, I think, what it means. Pico de gallo. And I don't know why it would be red and white and green. Maybe the rooster's attacking parts of things or other chickens. All right, little fine diced, not all that, just part of that fine diced. Oh, Anne, geez, all of it. Okay, so we've got corn salsa and pico de gallo, some dressings, walnut sauce, peanut sauce. We're gonna do a mango salsa now.
This is amazing. Now, I am particular about this. I absolutely love fresh mangoes. These happen to be frozen, which will do, but there is nothing like fresh, I think. You like them both ways. And this is red onion, and I'm going to put some red onion in. And if you forget the red onion, it's just, it makes it so pretty. So pretty. And then I'm going to put a little more in.
Oh, peanut sauce is so good.
And then I'm going to put some lime juice in. This is and then I am going to put in the zest of a lime. And I think I forgot to zest the corn salsa, so I'll do that.
You know what? I think that this is a fresher lime taste than that. That doesn't need to have a lime fresh. I think this, actually, the sweetness of the corn.
Everything, though, Jane, is benefits by
You can
zest. Because just like potato skins, all the power is in the zest.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And I also want to say that I agree with what you did here, because that is going to be great like it is with the juice. The freshness of the lime and the mango, I think because they're sort of neighbors, grow together, go together kind of thing. And lime and corn don't always, I guess they do grow together. You know what? Maybe you're right. Shout me up.
You know what? Anyway, this is pretty easy. And then to top it all off, you need lots and lots of cilantro. And if you aren't a cilantro lover, don't put it in. Or you could put in parsley. But this tops it off being such a pretty and crazily delicious dish. I mean, there's nothing that enhances everything as mango.
Our son, my husband and my son, is living right now with two other 20-year-old kids, and they are cooking for themselves and doing everything. And he made some mango salsa the other night, which he could make in his sleep, and because he's made it at home so much. And his friends were like, "Dude, what is this? This is amazing. What did you make?" They couldn't believe that it was part of their meal of probably rice and beans and then mango salsa. But he, I think, was feeling quite proud for a moment because he shared that with us.
Now comes the most stunning thing Jane's going to make.
This is a cranberry salsa because we're getting close to the holiday, here in America at least. And if not, give it a go wherever you live. But it's a cranberry-based salsa. And this was given to me by a woman who lives in Australia where they don't even have cranberry. So it's funny that it came our way. But it is pretty simple. It's cranberries and some green onions to give it a little color, a little cha-cha. And this sounds threatening. It's about half a jalapeno, but it just gives it more taste because your tongue is ADD and your tongue wants distraction. Your tongue wants to have something going on. It wants sweets or sour or fat or acid or something. And the heat of jalapeno, this is a lot of jalapeno, I'm gonna give it that much. The jalapeno heat just gives it a little attention. So that's what's great. Speaking of attention, here's lime juice. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to overdo it, but it's great at clarifying it. And FYI, cranberries are bitter. It's a good thing to eat them. They're loaded with all kinds of good stuff, but we're going to add some maple syrup. This looks like more than we need. I think it's, well, you know, we'll taste it. We'll see if we need all that. And give it a whirl.
There's nothing on Thanksgiving as amazing as, or any time, as this cranberry salsa.
Will you confess what you used to like?
Well, I used to like the jellied cranberry until
With the jar shape on the edges. The jar shape on the edges.
Uh-huh.
That was always so gross.
But now I like, there's nothing like this.
Let's see. I'm going to use like 1/4, 1/8 teaspoon, whatever, to see if it's sweet enough. It'll do. It'll do. All right. So, I think our time is okay. Oh, let's pour that in there. That'll look pretty. And all the stuff that we've made right here, we are going to be.
I think this should zap another minute, do you?
Oh, I like it kind of relishy, don't you?
Well, it's closer to my jellied cranberry if it's a little more.
Thank you. So all these things we've just made, the 2 dressings, the 3 salsas, 4 salsas, excuse me, the mango salsa, corn salsa, cranberry salsa, and the pico de gallo. We are going to use all these later on today, along with the OMG sauce, OMG walnut sauce, as well as our peanut sauce.
Jane, do you put some cilantro in the
You could put a sprig on top to be pretty. Actually, you could put cilantro in the cranberry sauce. I think the original recipe does have that in there, and it's in Plant Strong, and it also is in our cookbook, the Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease cookbook. Okay, so we have really never kicked it into the goal before the time's up, but I think we beat it by a minute, Mommy.
But I just want to say one thing, and that is that all of these, or any one of them, really can transform eating this way. I am horrible about making sauces because somehow it's enough for just getting the dinner ready. So it's nice to be able to have some of this.
Says the woman who taught me all about sauces.
Made by Jane next door. But it's transformational.
Yeah, there's a whole section of a cookbook that Rip and I just did, the Engine 2 cookbook. The whole section, sauces, salsas, spreads, dressings, gravies. Like, this is why we can eat this way. This is what maintains, like, you have all these foundations, which we're going to show you soon. These complex carbohydrates that you make, and then you build up with some beans and some vegetables. That is so hard to maintain. It's so unsexy. So you want to just cha-cha it up with other stuff.
But if you just are incapable of doing this, if you can get some really good balsamic vinegars, those are very helpful on the top.
Okay, we are going to let you guys go. We're going to go to break, is that right? And we will see you guys in a little bit. And bye.
Bye.